Hi, I'm Jacob with Halo, and today we're going to go over seasoning your Elite Series griddle. So a couple things we want to go ahead and get out of the way. Oils. You can use any kind of oil or compound as long as it's food safe. Things that are going to be important to you are the smoke temperatures of those oils. In our video, we're going to use vegetable oil. It's got a low smoke point. Now you can get on the higher end of the spectrum with things like clarified butter or ghee that are going to have a really high smoke point, so that may impact the temperature that you should season your griddle at. Not everyone has an even cooking surface, so that's where we have our level built into the griddle. You're going to go ahead and make sure that your bubble is in between the lines when you're leveling things out, and if it's not, we have some tools for that as well. So one of the tools for leveling out your griddle is our wrench and caster system, so you can adjust the height of each wheel independently, and then we also have locking wheels on the front for you to make sure that it doesn't roll around. For today's video demonstration, we're going to be using the 4-burner griddle. You can do this same process on any of our griddles. We're going to go ahead and set everything to high on both burner zones for 10 to 12 minutes, and then we're going to close our lid. It's about 5 minutes per coat, or what you're going to really look for is until the smoke dissipates. When you're not seeing the smoke anymore, that's your cue to go ahead and put your next layer on. Okay, so our preheat is done. We've got our oil, we've got our paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and show you the process for applying your first coat of oil, and we're going to go ahead and drop our temperature down to medium. Okay, so you can see that we're already starting to get a little bit of coloration on our griddle surface, so that tells us that we're good and hot. Let's go ahead and put some oil on and we'll start applying it. So we're just going to do a little bit at first, make sure we get everything kind of moved around, coated evenly, spread it out however you want to. There's really no wrong answer to this part. So I want to go ahead and make sure that we're going wall to wall with this. I want to make sure we get all of the edges, including the interior lips. You can see that our paper towel starts to tear apart on us a little bit. It's okay, just throw it away and get another one. You're going to go through several during this process. You can see that our coloration is starting to change all the way around the edges. The smoke's starting to dissipate a little bit. We're not quite ready for that next layer of oil, but you can already see how much different the first coat has applied. You can actually close the lid and it'll help compound that heat inside and smoke off a little bit faster. Okay, so you can tell that our smoke is dissipated. We're at a good spot to go ahead and start our second coat of oil. We're just going to go ahead and put a little bit more oil on here and start pulling it back towards us, making sure that it's everywhere on the griddle surface. We want it to be evenly distributed, and just move it around as much as we can, making sure to get all the way up into the corners. You can see on the back walls here, we're starting to get that coloration from the oil. You want that coat everywhere. That's going to prevent rusting and increase the longevity of your griddle surface. So as you can see, we're going to go ahead and put our third coat on here. Our smoke dissipation is stopped, so we want to just keep that same amount of oil and work that same thing through. Once again, side to side, just get it all over. If your griddle is leaning one direction or another, just keep note of that so you can make sure that your coats are even. You do want to make sure that you avoid pooling. So if you notice that your oil is starting to pool up in one place or another, go ahead and start moving it around a little bit more. You can see right here, we're starting to pool a little bit in this corner, so I want to just pull it out. Okay, so as you can see right here, we've got a little bit of debris on the griddle surface. We want to go ahead and get that off because otherwise it can cause flakes with your coat. Think of this just like painting the walls in your house. You don't want your paint to run. You want even coats on everything. That's the same mentality that we're applying to here. All right, so for coat number 4, we're going to do the same thing that we've done for the first 3. For our demonstration, it's a little bit closer to the front. We're just going to go ahead and make sure we draw all that oil back towards the front. Think of this like squeegeeing a window. As you can see, our 4th coat has stopped smoking, so we're ready to go ahead and put our 5th coat on. For our purposes, we're done here. We're gonna go ahead and do the 5th coat as just an insurance policy, and this is kind of where you can just keep going crazy. 4, 5, 10, 20 layers, it doesn't really matter at this point as long as you're good and seasoned. Okay, so our last layer of oil's on. Gonna go ahead and bring all that back and just start swooping it around. And again, we're just going to keep working these sides every time we go by them just to make sure they get a good, nice coating on them and we don't have to worry about this in the future. Go ahead and bring it back down the side. As you can see, our oil is pooling over here, so we want to just push that towards the grease pan. Okay, so as you can see, our last coat has finished smoking off. We are done here. We're gonna go ahead and shut everything down. For our video today, we used about 1 cup of oil. Obviously, it's gonna make a difference between how many coats you put on and how large your griddle surface is. Thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us on our social media or our support team.